That's at the next panel. That's the service dogs panel.
What year was CGOH?
No, I'm bald. Now you know.
Oh, well. 2019.
Why?
What will your friends think?
Why?
Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Oh, I captured the misery.
Now everyone thinks I'm Woody.
Whenever I see a bald person I'm drunk, I sit them down and explain to them. It means you have high testosterone levels, man. Don't worry about it. You don't look dumb. Very nice.
Yes.
How does that go every time?
So
They're super flattered, and they thank me.
Every
Thank
single
you.
time.
Yeah.
You know what, Sema, I think he needs a support dog now.
Yeah.
Look, it's okay. I understand you paint yours green to hide all the grays, but
I do actually.
I do actually.
We're also
Call me Daddy Jaguar. I love it.
Jaguar. Okay, I'm changing that. Your contact.
Actually, his real secret is it's actually hollow inside.
It's true. It's actually a giant comb over.
Wow.
That is cool.
I just like talking shit.
Like it's weaved
Wait, is it
back
like
and forth inside.
Yeah.
Is it like the
Very intricate.
Is it like the Yondu thing where if you whistle, like a little thing shoots around for you?
It's more like a Parasaurolophus from Jurassic Park. I can like use it as a horn. Like,
Gondor calls for aid! So, hello everybody, welcome. This is a panel, the Coming and Going, where the idea of this is we share stories, tell jokes, and hopefully you all get amused.
We just want to milk that guest of honor spotlight just a little bit.
As long as we can. I mention it whenever I can. I pepper it into any conversation.
We actually have our bot badges here. So, Sima, what is your badge?
It says Ghost, spelled G-O-H-S-T, of 2014.
Alright, Pandez. Lord Pandez!
I forgot to put the year in mind, so I'm just the ghost of Fursquared past.
Nice. I'm the ghost of 2017, and...
Could it be Ghost of 2015, please? Yeah, and they ran out of characters.
So the funny thing about that is at opening ceremonies is I was like, I'm not going to disturb it. They're going to try to get doing things. I don't want to do anything. And at one point, something happens. Like, you know what? Maybe Alkali want a shot of something. So I run up and I give him my flask. He's like, oh. And I forget he doesn't like whiskey, and it's honey whiskey. So, what is this? No, get out of here. You're not the go anymore. And I whip around and I show him the badge. He's like, oh god damn it. And then Fear's like, actually.
Yeah. So you know he doesn't like whiskey when we haven't lined up a whole bunch of people with whiskey at random. Just
We very well.
We need a bunch of people in
so
tuxedos with whiskey.
the problem with Alkali is that he doesn't like his first 3 drinks. After that, it's open game.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you already know, but we have over here Sema, we have Lord Pandez, we have Fear, and I'm just some asshole.
Yeah.
I'm not important, I'm just here.
I know. Why did we pick for you? Why did we pick you?
Because I threatened you with a very massive hammer.
Oh, yeah! Oh, man.
So like I said, the idea of this is we just wanted to share stories, experiences, and stuff like that, because I know that last year and this year, like I myself personally have been getting a lot of people go like, oh, what does it take, or what did you do, and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what, I just wanted to give some insight and maybe give a couple of laughs. And if you feel amused, Muff, I did have this as a charity, so if anybody wants to donate more to Haas, we have the Balding Man's hat that he hopes that if someday, if it gets enough money, it'll grow hair back magically.
I called Hair Club for Men, they just laughed.
You're a lost cause.
Yeah.
So yeah,
put Rogaine on my face. That makes you feel any better.
And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We're here for your amusement. So.
Oh man.
As usual.
Yeah.
We're just here to fill in that, what did he say, 245 hours of programming space because, you know.
Oh, thanks for making me feel small.
You're welcome.
I hear that a lot.
So Pandas, like we were talking earlier, you said something that you had a really good story or something like that?
Oh, I mean, just like what I did to torture Alkali the entire year. Or, I mean, I may have, so, was it the end of year 1 or the end of year 2?
I wasn't at year 1. I want to say maybe year 2.
So, okay, hold on, this is...
You were year 3.
I was year 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so in year 2...
We're not sure.
There was a minor... Yeah, it was a couple years back, whatever. So in year 2 then, at Who's Lion, there happened to be this random thing where they were at a health food store. And someone was like, oh, the question's only, okay, where do you keep the kale? And kale got a laugh for no reason whatsoever. And so people picked up on that fact and decided, we're going to keep bringing kale up throughout the whole panel. And Alkali was like, I don't understand what's going on, but okay. And then it kept coming up throughout the convention. The whole convention, people just randomly brought kale things up. Someone brought like a head of kale shaped like Alkali's head to closing ceremonies. Like, it was just weird.
Paintings, coins.
During the convention where this started, they went to the hotel kitchen, and they went to the chef from the hotel restaurant and said, look, we don't care what it is. Can you get us something that is just insane and kale themed? And they have no idea what the hell's going on. This is the second furry con they've ever had.
Well, they were back then. They were like, "We got you, fam."
We got you, man.
That's why we love this hotel.
It was an entire display. Like, if you look at the cameras, you can kind of, or at the past videos, you can kind of see it. And it's just a display. It's Alkali. There's like, or Alkale Eye, and all this like it has. I think there's like something representing his top hat in there and stuff like that. It was just ridiculous.
They had it pre-made and waiting under the counter. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No,
By the way,
they had it on like a
speaking
silver
of
platter.
kale things.
Well, that's... no.
No, okay.
I'm staying dry today.
Oh, okay.
At least until after closing ceremony.
Then the party starts.
Tonight, maybe. But anyway, so like kale was just all kind of crazy and stuff. And then at closing ceremonies, with no warning whatsoever, he calls me up and said, "Hey, I just want to thank you for everything you did," because I ran a bunch of panels and tried to entertain people throughout the weekend, as I normally do. And then in front of the crowd, without any warning, he goes, "So how would you like to be guest of honor at Fursquared next year?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't say no because I'm in front of a crowd of people. So I'm going to say yes and screw with you as much as I possibly can. Because you are my friend and I hate you." So I spent an entire year. I created a covert group called the Kalerati. I had artwork made for the Kalerati. I had a Twitter account made for the Kalerati. We kept tweeting at the Fursquared account, and they were like, "What the hell is going on?"
Isn't there like some sort of an actual like registration thing for it or something like that?
I don't know about registration, but like people didn't know who it was. They didn't know it was me doing it. I showed up, and I mean, first of all, I had a bunch of random stuff, but behind the scenes, I was also inducting people into the Kalerati the entire convention. I had a couple hundred buttons made with the Kalerati symbol on it. And I was like, just walked up to random people, "Oh, hey, how's it going? You had a good con, blah, blah, blah." And I'd slide on a button and just like, "You are now part of the Kalerati. You may not discuss the Kalerati with anyone but me. But if you feel anyone deserves a button, bring them to me." And so people were just bringing people up to me the whole convention, like, "Him," and I'm like, "Really?" And they were just like, "What?" So I just like slide my hand inside my vest and be like, "Here." And by the end of Friday, there was like 100 people walking around with these kale pins. And Alka was like, "I didn't see them for sale in the artist alley or the dealer's end. They're just appearing out of nowhere."
I remember a lot of us, like I did too, like, hey, Alkali, how's it going? Yeah, you having a good con? Yeah. We had it like underneath our vest or something. We'd just be like, yeah. They're like, "You too?"
And he would ask you, "Where did you get that?" And they're like,
Yes.
We started mini like a fundraiser for Kale Fursuit.
Oh God. I'm just picturing an anthropomorphic leaf of kale.
Careful how you shape it. Just careful how you shape it.
Bad. Which is why you were Jewish next year.
Oh,
But anyway, so it culminated for me on Saturday night. The staff party in the sponsors lounge. It's like 11 something at night. And the hotel liaison comes in, wheeling in like a thing of pizzas for them. And everyone's there hungry, and they've been working all weekend long. And she has a kale pin on. Because I specifically found out who their hotel liaison was, and went up to them and went, "How would you like to screw with Dan?" And they were like, "Yes, please." I said, "Just wear this around him." And he didn't notice until they were wheeling in these pizzas to the staff party. And Drago was like, "Alkali, look, look, and he sees the pig, and he just lets her finish, and then wheel the pizzas out, and as soon as she's gone, he's like, who the is giving the hotel these kale pins? What's going on? I don't know. And I am like 5 feet away from him going, that's so weird. And then at closing ceremony, I had managed to communicate like through Telegram and in person all the people that had the buttons. Okay, at closing ceremonies, when he thanks me, I'm gonna come up and say something. And so he thinks, I want to thank you for you did all these other things, which we can always get into later.
Yeah.
You made this con really great, and I was like, yeah, you guys really got into the theme. Was that the Clue year? I think.
Yeah.
That was the Clue year. That was amazing. He was like, man, you guys really get into your theming. It's so immersive. Like you just get everyone into this giant, group of people that just band together and. All hail, hail. All hail, hail. And 100 people wearing their buttons are pointing to them and going, all hail, hail. And he's just jaw-dropping like... And then he stares at me and I open my vest and I've got like a dozen pins. Gotcha, bitch!
You brought this upon yourself.
You brought this upon yourself.
Tell me one of the pizzas was a kale pizza.
Oh God!
No, I believe there's a bunch of food items that were kale inspired. Not just the kale liqueur, but people kept bringing kale, such as I particularly remember one the kale chips that were in the charity auction.
Oh God!
That whole year was crazy.
Oh, that was the year SmackDown was kale.
Oh my
inspired
gosh!
food.
I bought that on my. Okay, so if you guys don't know, SmackDown's a panel that gets put out every once in a while, usually by Duncan, where they pit a whole bunch of things together, battle royale or tournament style. So they have like 16 different items. Sometimes it's things like which fictional monster would be the best one, who would win in a fight, what's the best animal. They decided they wanted to have what's the best food. And you were on that, I was on that, and
Apple, I was on
it.
And he hated every minute of it. Kale soda.
God.
Kale chips.
And it was Duncan and Takaza were running this panel, and the fucking grin on their faces when they pulled every single... They went to, I'm going to guess, the Whole Foods from hell, because they were able to find things like kale seaweed, or kale seaweed crunch wraps, or... kale, like they had kale chips and kale popcorn,
Kale salad.
kale salad,
I think
kale
those are
sushi. That was the one that I
those are-
hated.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
god!
What is kale sushi?
Yeah, it was like that kale and sushi rice, and it was gross.
I think there was probably like a pasta that had kale in it too.
Yeah, and they didn't tell us that was what it was going to be. They're just like, just so you know, this is going to be a good one this year. I brushed my teeth for about 30 minutes after that.
With kale toothpaste?
That's why! I can't get it out of my mouth! Oh, we have a question. Yes.
It's a statement. They actually
Statement.
do that for reality now called Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
We got Poker Wolf to throw up.
Oh
No! He has a very acute fear of bugs. And apparently, bugs are very disappointing Cheetos.
Poor Poker Wolf.
Oh.
I'll have to remember that.
Worms.
Yeah.
Those mealworms.
So we'll get him
They
some
weren't that
Japanese
bad.
bug candy.
They were just disappointing Cheetos.
Yeah.
Those are very disappointing Cheetos.
No, so I'll have to remember that because he occasionally shows up, and whenever I do live streams, he shows up.
Oh no.
Remind me about that later.
I will.
Yeah.
have like a candy
yeah,
cockroach or something like, hey, poker roll, look at this.
No, I won't even say anything. It's like,
One of those
I'll just leave it
scorpions.
hanging out half blade from my lips. I'm like, oh, no. Make sure it's an oozy one, so it's just...
This is like one of those scorpion suckers.
Yeah,
Yes,
that too.
I have
Yeah.
questions for,
Sure.
for the panelists. So, from each of you, what was the most unexpected part about being guest of honor for you?
Okay, well, if you don't mind, go first.
Unexpected. Well, I will say, like, without getting into too much personal information, I was going through a really hard time, and I all of a sudden got this call from Alkali, and he's like, "We're starting a convention. we want you to be the first guest of honor. And I was just like, really? So it was that, I think it was really surprising to me because I knew they had talked about starting a convention, but I didn't realize like how far along in the process they actually were. So I was kind of shocked that like this was actually happening and that he was like asking me for pictures for the, we just rewatched this, the first, well, when it was called Fursquared, promo video. And so, yeah, I guess that would probably be the most shocking. Probably the second most shocking was how much paneling you can actually fit in one day.
Oh, wow.
And like I've had like you were saying yesterday that you had a moment where you were like oh, I'm gonna chill up in my room, and that was exactly what happened to me. I was just like, where are you? We need you down here for this. And I was just like, oh shit, I didn't even realize. And I had to like run down. So I basically somehow had to go to every single panel at the entire convention. I still don't know how I did that. So.
Yeah. So what about you?
What exactly was
So,
the phrasing of the question again?
Most unexpected part about being guest of honor. Like, what were you not prepared for? Didn't see coming.
Just how inspiring it could be. Like, especially at this convention. Like other conventions, like it would be, hello, I'm the guest of honor. Yes, what would you like me to do? And here it was, I'm the guest of honor. How can I mess with every panel possible at the convention? Because that's just Fursquared is like it's not a convention, it's an experience.
It is.
That's a good way to put it.
It really is.
And just how much they let me get away with. I'm like, surely they're gonna stop me. Nope.
No, both you and I learned that quite a lot.
Oh, I thought I went overboard, and then I heard about the pantsless panel.
I will touch on that. I will touch that a little bit later on.
Phrasing.
Please do.
Oh!
But,
I may be doing it now.
Just kind of like how much they went, yep, Pendes, you keep going. Okay. Don't tell me twice.
For me, I had, the two biggest surprises for me was when they asked me, because the thing is, I didn't go in expecting anything. I just went in, and I'll be honest, I was kind of in the same boat, a similar boat as Sinjay, where I had a bit of rust spots. There's a lot in the fandom where I just was running into the worst of it. Like, the fandom is the majority. There's a lot of good people, really great people, a lot of creative stories. I just kept running into the bottom 5% that you don't want to run into, and I was just like, it's not really worth my time sticking around for this. Well, and I heard about Fursquared. It's like, you know what, I'll go because I got some friends going. I'll give it a shot, and then I just had a blast. Like, I mean, oh my! I even told Alcalaz, you know what? This is the one thing that actually kept me going in this fandom. It's like the amount of fun, the creativity, the one of the things I loved about this con above any other con I've been to is it is highly inclusive. You can be a nobody, show up and be involved. You can pull yourself into stuff or be pulled into things.
You can have a church made about you.
Yeah. Add up. I was wondering if I could do it too.
Yeah.
So that was so went through the whole con and I was just going a mile a minute. And then at the end, I was walking around in my suit a little bit. The big Warhammer suit.
That suit.
Did you bring that with you?
No, it's retired now. The amount of times I've jumped in it, I've fallen in it, I've thrown it around. I'm surprised it's still in peace. But I was walking around, and I was in the dealer's den, and Dragger walks up to me, and it's like towards the end of the con. Dealer's den was still open, but it's towards the end of the con. He walks up to me, and I was already talking to somebody. He's just waiting there, just so patiently, like he was a statue, and and I didn't want to blow off one person. So I was like, nodded to him, and finished the conversation. He's like, so how would you like to be the guest of honor next year? I'm like. That was literally my response. I'm sitting there jumping in suit. So he's telling us like, okay, well, you get this, this, and this, but we do expect things of you. You have to be part of panels and such. And I'm like, I don't see how that's a downside.
Yeah.
So I did actually come up with some panels to submit. One was like a foam crafting panel, which I did again this year, which admittedly is mostly the same. I did have some new stuff in it, and I intend to go further with it, but that's something else. But originally, it came down to where I submitted 2 panels, and I was included in like 2 of them.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Just because your name is not on
Yep.
the panel doesn't mean you're not involved in it. Or you're going to be forced to be involved in
I
it.
recounted the number of panels I was involved in some way, where I was in at least half of it. And the grand total by end of con was over 30. I have no idea how I did it. Even Dragor's like, you should be hating life right now, because there's one point in time, like, I was part of the MST3K where I was completely, I should have been gone. You know, some of it I kind of overreacted, like, you know, falling out of the chair and stuff, but I did drink quite. I even looked at Alex like, I can't drink this, I just drink water.
Was that Dark and Stormy Night?
Yes!
The lightning.
I remember that.
I have
No,
this-
because they made that rule, like, every time there's a lightning strike. And me, who would have been sensible, happened to be looking away and talking to somebody else, so I didn't hear it. So I'll let the rule go for $20. And then somebody started going, Drake! I was like, what's going on? And I told him, why would you do that? It's a dark and stormy night!
That's like when I was, the year I was guest of honor, they did water roll.
Oh,
And it
no.
was every time someone fell in the water. Like, I actually have a picture of, it was like Alkali, me, Pandez, and like, it's just, the looks on our faces were just gone. Like 20 minutes into the movie, we're just completely gone. And we're just, these looks on our faces, just completely gone.
Waterworld was one of the few movies that we stopped before the end.
Yes.
Because we were like,
Yeah, I actually, like, I think like after the first hour, I'm like, you guys, I gotta go back to my room. I'm just gonna go back to my room. I was not feeling good, but it was so much fun.
why is it the water themed movies? The faculty at IFC, oh my god.
No.
Anytime there's water on screen, oh, this was a bad choice.
Yeah.
It's raining, there's a water fountain. Every second shot, for some reason, there's a bottle of water just chilling on a shelf in the background. We're like, okay.
Oh yeah, and then like, what was it at MFF? The year before, there was that Western movie, The Quick and the Dead.
Anytime it zooms in,
there's a scene at the end. So it was every time a gun is cocked, every time it zooms in, every time they show the clock, and it was like the last like 10 minutes of the movie
Like,
is
it's almost
nothing
nothing.
but that.
Yeah.
It's just them zooming into people, and then they actually like zoomed into the clock, so that was like double. And they just kept doing it over and over. And
Like, it was almost nothing up until
yeah, it was
the
like
end.
almost nothing up until the end.
And there's a blah, 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 blah. So just grab the bottle, just hold it up, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's what I did. I just kept like just drinking. I was just like, I'm not even putting this down. Go get Dad. Then.
Aww.
D&D, torch, horse.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
On a horse carrying a torch.
So yeah, that for me, that was the two biggest things, was being asked to be the go,
Okay.
and then getting the panel list. The panel list. At the end of it, it's like, it was just, I ate up every moment. I did not regret it. I told him, it's like, you know what, throw me at something, I will probably not say no. I even stripped for money.
You suggested
I'm
that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
alcohol.
suggested it. Nobody's taken me up on it. I said I would take my pants off for charity.
It's in my other pocket. I'm too lazy.
You're just like, shit.
This is my stabilization arm right
Yeah.
now. So.
It has to be more
Oh
than
well, I
that.
can't have you show. Where's my wallet?
We raised this much for charity. Oh yeah, all the Very good.
There's 23. Anybody else?
See, no one wants it. That's like
100%.
something no one wants.
That's already like $40.
I'll take that. Oh, man. Oh, it's
Guys.
my turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your turn, go.
Come on, Fear, old man.
Oh, I know. I'm so old. I've
Oh,
lived like
that's
this since I
beautiful.
was 16. I'm at peace with it.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Anybody got a Sharpie?
Oh, dude.
Oh my
college
god.
graduation, they put me in with the faculty.
Oh.
Oh no.
No, so, I guess I'll tell the story of how I found out, too. So, I was at, actually, Anthrocon 2013, like, before the first Fursquared even happened. And I was doing my DJ set. I was on stage, acting like an idiot, got the crowd going. Alkali comes on stage, and he's just like, oh, so this is what a dance is supposed to be like. I'm like, in the middle of the stage, Britney Spears is playing. I'm just going like this the whole time, and I'm getting people on stage with me. And he just gets he just comes right behind the deck on me, or behind the decks with me. And he says, I want you to be guest of honor, but not now, because this is Anthrocon, and I'm starting a convention in a while.
Come suffer with me.
At some point.
That sounds like Aqua.
Yeah, and then I completely forgot about that. Fast forward to 2014. It's the end of closing, or it's right before closing ceremonies, and Alkali and I just finished some charity panel, and we're taking the money to ConOps, and he ducks me in and pulls me in the artist room, and he says, "Oh, by the way, do you remember Anthrocon last year?" I'm like, no. He's like, good, because we already voted, and you're the guest of honor the next year. I'm keeping my promise. And I couldn't remember. I actually had to watch the tape. Like, right after GoPro. I'm like,
oh, there he is.
That's what he was screaming at me. And it was just, it's one of those weird things, because, like, I had never actually been, like, a guest of anything before, and, like, I didn't realize that, like, you could be recognized for being a smartass.
Or a crazy man.
Or a crazy man. Crazy old man. It's sciatica!
That's me every day.
Yeah.
I got back to the room on Friday and I'm like, oh my god, my foot's like completely swollen just from walking around today.
I just
We're
ripped
too
mine
old
out.
for our own good.
No.
Yeah, I need those, like, leg feet. I need those walker legs from Ford.
I need those leg feet.
I need leg feet. I want my feet to have legs and another set of feet. It'll be like a...
You want robot? You're saying you want robot.
You want spider feet.
I want the digigrade legs that all the fursuits have, except, you know, more terrifying.
He wants to be a beautiful bald centaur.
You'll be
Oh,
on that
please,
when you're
someone
done.
paint that. Please.
So majestic.
I hate you.
She's on it.
Yeah, please do it. Please do it.
So,
I will.
need to interject, but
That's really
is
awesome.
Can I wear it on my head?
tell anyone. I'm still working on it because of donations in the hallway.
Oh my god.
I want to
I
wear
was really hoping I could get some Canadian money to put it right on the nips. That's just me. Because it's got that clear see-through pane.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, loonies and toonies wouldn't work too well in that thing.
We're tiny, we're tuning you all. I want to wear that on my head when you're done.
Alright, no
I
problem.
want to wear that on my
I'll
boobs
work on
when
it
you're
in the
done.
back.
So I'll put it on my head,
I'm
and
gonna
I'll put my
walk in-
head on your boobs.
I'll walk into closing ceremonies with a money bro.
If you draw that
Well,
picture, I will
JG,
hang it in my
what-
house.
Okay.
I will hang it somewhere in my
The
house.
beautiful bald centaur?
Yes.
So,
Of fur. Of fur. Fur has to be the centaur. I will hang it in my house and I will remember this convention fondly.
Oh, I've got a horse head in my room. We could be a reverse centaur.
I wish I brought my horse head.
Oh, dude, someone gave me a horse head too.
It was from the
Whoa.
Church of Adam, right?
What?
Church of Adam.
Oh, that's right. You're
Yeah.
sitting
yeah.
in the back.
Oh yeah.
I saw you, like, was it a Who's Line? You're just sitting there in the back, just chilling.
Yeah.
But, so you mentioned about messing with Alkali, and I messed with Alkali too. So at one point in time, I was constantly going places and constantly going to con-ops and hanging out with people and saying hi and stuff like that, and you know, and I was doing my best not to bug Alkali, but bug him because you know he's constantly very busy. I kind of have the same model of him: is if there's even a second to spare, he will spare it, but at the same time, he is busy. He tries to get a lot of stuff done. So I can understand too. And there's like, I feel so bad because people are like, oh, hey, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go. You know, and then Alkali's the same way. It's like, sorry, you gotta go, you gotta do this. So at one point in time, I'm in the con-ops, and he had his hat off, and he went to go handle something, and it was on the table. I just saw it, and it was like. And then I just start getting ideas. I did not plan this at all. I never planned anything. Anything you've ever seen me do was not planned. I just do.
Yeah, he was born that way.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I got up and just left. Now, I will admit, I will say this first and foremost. The staff are very good about keeping an eye on things. If there's anything, and this is something I realized even without them telling or anything like that, if ever at any point in time I did something that was inappropriate, unacceptable, whatever, they would have stopped me dead in my tracks before I could even get it started. because there's some situations I've seen handled before. There was a situation last year where there was an incident right next to the registration line. The only people that knew about it were about 10 people away from that center point, and everybody else had no clue. It was handled so fast that it practically didn't happen.
Yeah, they're ninjas. There's like 3 security guards in this room right now.
Yeah. There's one in a ceiling tile.
Yeah.
Invisidorsa, you're doing great.
Yay!
Okay, does anyone else do that? Like, if they're in an empty room, they just say, like, I know you're there?
No.
Just to freak out anyone?
No, because I'm there. I'm already distracted. I'm already doing enough as it is anyway. So I start walking around. And I start going, hey, you want to take a picture? Yeah, sure. And then I start doing stuff like recording videos with groups of people. Hey, who wants to say hi to Alkali? Hi, Alkali, we all love you. I'm sorry, my voice is going out because the last panel I was yelling.
We were trying to diffuse bombs.
Oh, you did that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. So I
Does
had
that
this.
hat help you get louder?
Oh, it naturally does.
It does actually.
What you don't know is there's actually a little megaphone in it.
Also remember, it's the Mario hat. It actually just possesses you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So these
So-
are your ideas.
No. We figured it out. Like, I could not figure out how Alkali does all the cons that he does, and like he does so much for the cons when he's there. I can't figure that out. Like, I don't know how somebody's like physically capable of doing that. Well, Taryn actually figured it out. When Alkali dies from exhaustion, when somebody picks up his hat and puts it on, they just become the new Alkali. It's like
shit!
the
Oh
Santa
shit!
Claus.
Don't tell me that! Don't tell me that!
It's like the
No,
Santa
I do not want to be in a con chair.
But it only happens if you find him, he's dead.
Oh, he wasn't dead. I think.
And then So
okay.
that's what happens. Is it's like the Santa Claus. Someone else just like morphs into Alkali.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't run into him dead then, for
Yeah.
many reasons. Mostly because I don't want to be a con chair.
Yeah.
Mostly.
No.
Mostly. So yeah, and the thing is, I had the hat for probably a good hour or two, just walking around randomly. And it was safe. There was even one point in time that the first shooter came in and like tried to grab it to mess with it. I was like, nope, it ain't going past me. And they actually understood. After a while, they understood. I was like, okay, good. So at one point in time, I'm walking around, and he was kind of looking for the hat because he didn't know where it went. And I talked to Dragon, and I was like, no, don't tell him. It's like, yeah, okay. I know you have it in good hands. And I was like, you know what, do me a favor, don't tell Alkali where it is. So I'm pretty sure he's like, hey, where's my hat? And I was like, I don't know, I thought it was here. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm just walking around, and at one point in time, he's walking around with some of the staff and people, and I guess they're heading up to his room, and I see him walk by, I'm just like, real quickly, whoop, duck down, and somebody's with me, and it's like, hey, Alkali, I'm like, whoop. And he comes over, and he does the thing where he's just, and I'm just, post to Twitter. Here you go. And then I showed him, I was like, by the way, your hat went on an adventure. And he's like, what did you do? And I started showing him pictures and the videos and made him cry. It was basically a lot of people where I was like, hey, say on the and it's a lot of like you guys just saying, we love you, thank you for your con, this is a great experience and stuff like that. And it was fun to mess with him, but at the same time, it was one of those things that, like, as a go, because I do what I want, that I was able to go and do like a thank you to him, because the man really does a lot for everybody.
Like 3 of the people actually thought you were Alkali too.
Oh yeah, if you have a hat on it doesn't matter.
You're Alkali.
I think that's part of the magic.
Yeah.
It is.
Dude, I've got a fun Alkali hat story.
Oh!
Since this is going to turn into the Alkali hat pattern.
It's always that.
That's what we need to call it next year. It's just like, it's called Alkali's hat. And then it's like us.
So,
Yeah.
how did you mess with Alkali's hat?
So, I met Alkali at FCN 2008. So I barely knew him at IFC 2010. Like, I really didn't know too much. It was their first year at their new hotel. And for some reason, I saw this top hat. This was like before he started even wearing it all the time. Like back when he was still a normal person and didn't drink.
I've known him
Wait,
since 2000.
Yeah,
No,
he did.
I've known him since 2000. He's never been normal. 2004. He's
Yeah,
never been
okay.
normal.
So, I just see this top hat. And I just
Chicken
put it on.
nugs.
Whoa!
You bought me chicken nugs.
Oh my
Not
goodness!
for you, I'm just giving you one.
Oh, okay.
What?
So
Chicken
chicken
nugs.
nug. What? Nugging it.
drugs.
Oh man, that feels
Oh
that's
man,
good
that's
stuff.
delicious.
This goes really well with my. Wait, I'm an entertainer now, right?
I have to suck
This goes really
it
well
up.
with
I
my
would have bought
booze.
more, but this con made
No,
me
it's
go
not
broke.
drugs. So, 2010, I see his hat. I put it on. I start walking around, and Alkali sees it. And he just says, and this is what he said, the hat always finds its way back to me.
That's what he says, and it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I forget I put it on for a couple minutes. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm pretending I'm Alkali. I'm yelling at people. I'm like, hey, give me money or I won't yell at you. And, stupid. The worst impression
Give
ever.
me money and
Yeah.
I won't yell at you.
Yeah, and people were fucking buying it still.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Then I get invited to go out to the Cheesecake Factory. I forget I have it on. If you've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory, you think it's a restaurant. But what it is a fucking black hole because the menu is 40 pages
Yeah,
long.
it is. Yeah, it is.
Your meal takes 4 hours to get to you. And then you have to stop and you have to peruse all the cheesecakes. So 4.5 hours come by. It's probably like 11 o'clock at night. I walked into the IFC. Alkali just looks at me from the top of the stairs, and there's this escalator on the stairs that goes up. Okay? And there's only one that goes up. There's not one that comes down. He just screams, "You!" runs down the up escalator, almost tackles me, grabs the hat off of my head. I forget I have it on completely, throws it on, and says, "Don't you ever do that again." So I did it the next day. Went to Steak and Shake. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Fine.
It's going to be a super awkward question, so I love
Well, that doesn't
Oh,
get more awkward
the
than
more
me.
awkward, the better.
Lefty.
Say that now.
No, it's
You-
impossible. I have no shame.
You have each done so much for the fandom. Personally, what do you feel the most proud of that you have contributed?
Who's lying? That's 100%. I can't, I can't believe that I'm like, I was in an improv troupe in high school, and it helped me, like, so much, like, socially, because I had, like, a crap middle school, and then I got into high school, and I got into theater, and I got into improv, and a lot of people talk about how they have bad high school experience. I've never had a bad time in high school, and it was 100% because I surrounded myself with the theater people, and we had just nonstop fun. And about 2 years after high school, I was like, man, I really miss doing that. So I'm like, I could do a panel at a con about that. And, I never knew it would have blown up into, like, this.
Hey,
So,
Summer, can I say something to you that I probably haven't told you yet?
huh.
MFF 2007 was my first convention.
Yeah?
I knew absolutely no one. I went with my high school roommate. We drove from Wisconsin after I was at a military school, so we did this like fake military parade in Wisconsin.
Big military.
It was great. Like high schoolers pretending to be soldiers, whatever. But
Yeah.
it was Saturday afternoon. We drove from Milwaukee down to Chicago in my van. I didn't think that I was like, oh well, I have a van. We don't have to sleep in a hotel room. We'll just sleep in the back of there. I'm sorry, Woody. I've learned. We roll in. Registration had already closed, so we awkwardly figure out what a ConOps is.
Yeah.
Get our badges, and we wander into this panel where someone is doing improv.
Yeah.
And he and I sit in the back. We don't say a damn thing because we're fucking terrified. We had never seen... That was my very first furry experience. And I didn't realize that was you until 5 years later.
Yeah, and that was actually Alkali's first design, was that con.
Oh my god.
Well, he came the year before.
Yeah.
And then I said, Alkali, I really want you to come and help me next year. I want you to be the Ryan Stiles to my Drew Carey. And then it just went from
It
there.
fucking blew up. But yeah, so I just wanted to say, that was my first experience, and that actually was so fucking cool. I was the weird little awkward kid in the back, and look at me now!
Yeah.
I'm an awkward...
A kid in the front.
I'm
on the
still,
Yeah.
I'm still that kid. I just stand up and be awkward in front of 500
Oh,
people.
it's
sometimes.
awesome, isn't it?
I'm a 5-year-old. Anybody who's thought about me sexually,
Yeah, no.
shame.
He's a 5-year-old with a full beard.
Actually, this is how I was born.
You just came out like
I
that.
feel like
you
I
know
just
what?
had
I
puberty.
believe that. I believe that 100%.
In fact, I wasn't born. I was floating in an iceberg. It struck land. It struck another iceberg, split open. I swam to the shores, walked into a hut. The people there is like, "You are my parents now."
And they were like,
Feed me.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah. We'll get to
Yeah,
your question in a moment. So, what is this question?
The thing I'm most proud of contributing
Yeah.
to. So I was that kind of awkward guy that stayed in the back as well, and very, very slowly started making friends in the fandom. I mean, the friends I had were the friends I grew up with in high school, and kept those through college, and didn't really make new friends in college. I just kept in touch with my high school friends. And then I started working for a few years and found furry. And once I found furry, I slowly started making friends in the fandom, and
I'm just a boob.
No, continue.
so
I like how it's got a little bow.
You're a pair of boobs.
Ah,
King boob.
You're a boob killer.
my fortune.
I'm sorry, we're talking about the good the
So-
fandom
I'm
does,
sorry.
right?
Apparently, giving the last year's guest of honor, but diabetes is how to do it. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So as I started making friends, one of them was like, "We should like throw together a convention in Indiana." And I refused to take a staff position because I was living in Canada at the time, and I like flew down to Indiana from Canada.
You know we don't have residency
To help
requirements
with-
for staff, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But like still, I'm like, I don't know if I can commit. I don't know if I can get the time off, but I'll help with whatever I can. So I was there for the initial planning stages, getting it off the ground, going to the first hotel, moving hotels halfway through our planning here because we realized this is not going to work. And just getting Indie FurCon off the ground. And then from there, it was like I became staff. I became board. I moved board positions like several times. I went from hospitality to programming to social media, and just like I even moved into Michigan because I'm like, I need to be closer. I didn't have my Indiana license. I only have a Michigan one, and I was on the border. So I moved further, and just being part of that was like I'm still part of that now. I'm still staff, but going from like I won't even commit to being on staff, but helping plan it to eventually a couple years later, when Roxas, our second chairman, had to step down. He had a family member who was very sick and was like, I need to step down now. I can't handle both. And literally the entire staff unanimously made me con-chair, where I thought, okay, I'm in the running. You know, I'm sure I'll do it if they ask me to. They didn't even consider anyone else. They were like, nope, it's you. And we were like, okay. Okay. The fact they had that much faith in me, and then we went from like 750 to 12, whatever we had in the 3 years that I was chair.
It got swole.
Our numbers got thick. I'm just gonna say.
We like to use euphemisms here.
Like
I'm just gonna say that.
moving to the hotel we're at and growing that convention under my supposed leadership, that's really it's become like a super awesome convention. And then I love Fursquared, but I mean IFC is always going to be my baby. We need to give that to the charity too.
Yes, because they're so sweet.
Yeah.
Aww.
But I mean, I guess that, and also when FCN decided to wrap up in 2013, there were a bunch of us that were like, we need to keep this convention alive in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just like a one-year deal. And then that Motor City happened, and it's still going 5 years later too. So to be able to help create one convention and help create an offshoot convention of another one, so that the spirit of the Michigan Furry Convention didn't die. To be part of both of those conventions, I'd say, is the most wonderful thing. To be able to see all these people show up and go, it is so much time consuming. It drains so much of your energy. You try not to take the bad feedback to heart, but you need to listen to it at the same time and go, okay, well, this is what's wrong, we need to fix it. And then take the positive feedback and go, okay, we did, really well here. That's good. Take that into consideration. So being able to be part of those two things and see, 1,000 people at this convention and 1,000 people at that convention that are there because in part I helped both of those come into existence, that's, I can't think of anything as awesome as that.
He's a wizard. He brought it into existence. He casted spells.
Honest creatus.
Hey,
If only it was that easy.
Oh, believe me. No, I know you know. And you know that I know that you know. And I know that you know that I know that you know.
Exactly.
Okay, we can stop this now. Hey, Panda, do you want to know?
I think we should continue.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to know a stupid fun fact about MCFC?
Mm-hmm.
That hotel that they're in
Mhm.
this year will now hold the record for longest consecutive fur cons at a single hotel.
Nice.
10 years between FCN and now us. They were there 5 years. Because they were at a Best Western the first year.
That was amazing.
Which-
That was special.
That was.
That
They had
was-
a pool in the lobby.
Do you know how that
Oh, I
came
love
to
the
be?
hotels like
Do you know
that.
how that came to be?
How?
It was a night's in with an outdoor pool, and they decided to put a roof over the whole thing and close it.
People will love this.
So that's why they have all those windows that face into the interior, because it actually was outside before they decided to do that. But yeah, 10 years now at the Sheraton. There's been some ups, there's been some downs. It's been a fun ride. So, but yeah, like, yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, eventually we'll have to relocate to that hotel because we just won't be able to stay there.
Yeah.
So I think we'll hold that record until probably you guys take it. Because once you'll have been at your hotel for 11 years, which I'm sure will happen,
Yes.
then you'll overtake it. But for now, we have the record.
Ah!
Well, Michigan has the record because it's held between.
Yeah. That hotel has the record.
That hotel has the record.
There you go.
You have
Sorry,
to give
yes.
their staff.
Yes, we'll have to tell them that.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you put up for furries for the longest. Yay!
Oh man.
I'd have to say for me, the thing that I love contributing the most, above all, is simply just making other people laugh, just helping them have a good time. You know, and that's part of the reason why I don't really have a plan to do anything, is just I go in and I just do. And the funny thing is, believe it or not, several years ago, there's a point in time that I could not even talk to a group of friends confidently. There's one point in time in one of my...
shave so easily.
Beardus eresis.
Oh no! Ah! Wait, actually, no, my beard will eat that.
Seriously, these ear loops are so painful.
Oh, I can imagine. Wait, hold on a second.
Oh! Yay!
Wait.
There you go, you messed with that.
Oh, I've never done this before.
Oh, put it back, put it back!
It's like I'm in an anime.
Or just
Oh,
a L'Oreal
yeah.
commercial.
There you go.
Oh, that actually
man,
looks
you look
glorious.
awesome.
Wait, no, hold on.
Whoa!
He's got an actual wig for you.
No, take it off.
You got more luscious locks.
Oh.
Oh, you look like a rock star.
Now put the beard on.
He does. He always rocking.
And you're still old, but you know.
Now you
But you
look
have
like my
hair.
uncle.
Why is it above your dress? This is now the panel of helping Fear get hair.
Oh my god.
Good on him.
It really does.
Yeah.
Raise your color.
It is. Oh my god. He doesn't even like look like the same person.
Right? Old man in the wall.
Okay, you need to wear that beard and my cloak and go to Alkali. Be like, Alkali, cast Skinimus Maximus.
Oh, god damn
Yeah.
it. Now I have to go to the hospital to get
So
this done
this
again.
is actually not bad. So I know you both have questions, so we're trying to get through them. So what's your thing?
My most, what was it? Unexpected. Wait.
Most
That was like 3 questions ago.
Proud contribution to the family.
I'm old. I can't remember things. I've never had that much hair. It's clogging up the cooling system. It's overheating.
10 minutes point. It's panel's the next one. Hey Pierre, we
Okay,
might run
these
into
are-
your panel.
Wait, what's my panel?
Your panel's I don't know. It's something that's after mine.
Oh, is it here?
It's-
Go forth and. Oh shit! They approved that one. Hey Panda, do you want to help me with the panel in 30 minutes?
We have written proof. It was on
Sure,
here.
as long as I can get over to the charity auction.
Yeah, go forth and suck. It's only half an hour.
What's it
Go forth and suck.
Oh my god.
So, proudest contribution.
That's
what is
supposed
it?
to be
Proudest
an AD panel.
contribution.
Wait, hold on. The
Oh.
photographer.
There.
Something
you need
happened
you need
while
a
I was
potion.
gone. Wait, hold on.
So so we know who it is.
For once, I didn't spill the money.
Looks like a beetle.
How long does it take to put on a beard?
I am hair now.
I am here now.
He's just so over.
Let him enjoy the moment.
He's just falling to pieces.
Hold on. Put the ear beard on.
God, he looks like Ringo.
Yeah, he looks like a beetle.
Come together
Ready?
right now
Next to
over me.
Hey, put your hat on too.
That works. That's sad.
Still, even with the hat, he like still doesn't look like the
I don't know
same
what's
person.
going on, but I love it.
Old man for
Dude, get in there. Looks like a guy from.
No, it's a photo op. So your job, since you have the power to do this, you have to sneak that somehow into some of the paperwork for next year.
That's not bad.
Hey, guess what? We're going to use just exclusively for promo videos on the channel.
See, this is one of the things I like. I tell him things and he does it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting staff.
These
How
are
do I get
delicious,
staff?
I know.
What?
They look so good.
Oh, you just scratch things that you're not supposed to, and you'll get staph infection real quick.
Oh, that. I'm sorry.
When you're done, I gotta have a story about that.
Yeah.
I should apply first.
Okay. You're right. This is, okay. So, I'm gonna echo a little bit what Panda says. Like, I've been doing cons for 11 years now. I know there have been.
Yeah,
It's not that long.
old man.
I know there's people here who've been doing it a lot longer than me.
Who?
Technically, I
I think I've been like 14 years.
Yeah, like you've been doing it longer than I have. You haven't, because I was there at your first con. You're a baby. And here's a story that I hear time and time again. I was such a weird, reclusive guy in high school. I was the kid that never wanted to talk to anyone. Or I was the person that, like, I never really thought I was good at anything. And then I went to my first convention, or I found my first chat room online. And all of a sudden, I was going to these conventions, and I was forced to do stuff. I was pushed a little out of my comfort zone, and I realized that I really enjoyed this. And now, all of a sudden, I find myself more confident. I go to work, and I'm able to use the skills that I find at a convention. I'm able to do better at meetings. I'm able to go and act like a really big professional adult, while in the back of my head being like, I pretend to be an animal like 5 weekends out of the year. And I've heard that story. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm like trying to make it seem like make it seem less important, but I hear that so often, and it's so amazing every time I hear that. And just to know that, like, and I don't want to prop myself up, but I've heard a couple of people come to me personally, and every time I do it, I fucking cry because they're like, I saw you on stage at Anthrocon dancing like an idiot, and I loved that so much, and it was great. There were 2 people that fucking proposed during my set last year at AC, and I was like, oh my god, how the, like, this isn't, like, I was that fucking kid. We all were that kid growing up. And now there's so many people that are out there. Like, I've seen so many people get on stage to perform that don't do it. I've seen people, like, I've been in this fandom long enough to see people grow and become more and more. I've seen their con chairs now. I see people have gone on, like, there's some people I know that, like, oh yeah, I'm a furry, but now I'm a CEO. And I'm like, good for you. I'm like, I mean that with complete seriousness. It's just so cool to see that. So yeah, that's what I love about that's what I love about fandom, and that's what I feel like I get down a lot. Like, I think everyone gets into like depressive episodes, and everyone feels like, oh, I don't do anything of importance. And every once in a while, like, I'll get in that mode, and then someone will randomly tweet at me saying like, hey, I just saw this thing you did, and it made me feel happy. Or I was at this convention you happened to be at, and it was great. And I'm just like, oh, I love that. I love being a part of that. I love seeing other people are now starting to do that to more people, and it's just fucking growing exponentially, and I love that. Yeah, thank you.
I agree.
I'm actually getting excited
In a
from
couple
it.
words. I get kind of like hyper about
He does.
things. I got hair now.
A whole new you.
Thank you, Fursquared.
Fursquared worked for me.
Fursquared,
Yeah.
the rotate of the...
So,
Easy breezy, beautiful.
so I know.
Put it down.
So
Oh,
technically,
God.
your panel's informed.
Easy breezy, beautiful cover fur.
So I know your panels in 4 minutes, so I know
Does
you
anyone
both.
have a thing so he can like?
I mean, I can just kind of bleed this into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
panel.
we
If
can.
you guys want to stick around, I have a panel called "Go Forth and Suck."
Is it in this room?
Yeah,
It's in this
that's
room
what I was
right
telling him, and that's what it's like. They approved it. So,
Um,
I guess we can answer some questions really
approved
quick.
Yeah,
'cause-
answer some more questions. Quick
Yeah,
fire
I know
round,
you.
though.
I know you two both had some questions, so I'll go back to you really. Do you still remember what your question was? I thought you had one. Oh no, but you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to backtrack. This is another
Sure,
question
sure.
about Alkali's hat.
Yeah.
Could any of you find the exact like brand and model?
No,
I have it
see?
written down actually.
I would like to.
It's from an it's actually from a company that went out of business. I know that much.
It's a custom. It was also a custom.
Yeah, it was a custom, and they're out of business. But like there are like if you get enough pictures, you can probably find.
I would like to replace it with one that's like 2 sizes bigger. When he's really drunk.
I'm pretty sure that hat is as big as he goes.
Okay, that question I just answered, I take it all back. That's the reason why I do this shit.
Oh, you can be like, what the?
But that's
He's drunk enough.
Yeah.
The next day.
Oh man.
And just have everyone act like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
any other quick?
any other questions?
We got fan art while we were sitting here.
Really?
What?
What? Oh my goodness.
From Ren.
Ah!
Oh.
Who did it?
Ren.
Ren. Thank you, Ren.
we love
Oh, right there too.
Yeah. Oh my
Yay.
We have to fight
goodness.
over it among the 4 of you, but
We will gently. No, guys.
We'll
Let's.
sign it. We'll put it in the chair.
No, I got this.
Oh, good idea. We can sign it. And put it in
Ooh,
the charity.
new charity auction item. Thank you.
I need a pen.
I'll take a
I have
nice
a
picture
pen.
of it
We'll
so
get
I
a-
can.
I have a pen this, but
Well,
that one
I
has.
lose my
Did
fountain
you sign
pen.
it? You need to sign it.
What's that biblical story about the lady cutting the
But did you
baby?
sign it? Because you need to sign it too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you put your artist information on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I put my Twitter handle at the bottom.
Oh,
But
works.
okay. Yeah, just feel free to sign it.
Yeah,
It'll
sign
add
it,
value.
and then
I'm sorry. I'll
I'm
send
gonna
you
take
one
a picture of it so we have.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take a nice picture of it so we have a
Yeah.
nice copy of it.
So, any other, feel free to ask questions. I know,
I can keep coming up with
Yeah.
questions.
What?
Anyone else has them?
Oh, yeah, when it gets down,
Reaction
I'll
to
take a
something
picture.
You did
favorite reaction.
from alcohol.
First
That has not
over.
been said.
I
We'll
got
go
one,
down the
and
line.
this is an easy one because everyone
Right.
probably has
Quick
something like
fire.
this. Yeah, really quick.
There's so many.
This wasn't while I was guest of honor, but last year, you know how I have that little chalice that I made him drink out of for 5 years because he lost a bet. At the end of closing ceremonies, he announced that that the convention charity had raised something like $13,921 or some weird arbitrary number. What he didn't know was during closing ceremonies, I was taking that chalice around and saying, "Hey guys, we're at like something dollars. Let's round it up to an even number." And they went over the 14,000 all the way to exactly $15,000. And I said, because the bet was for 5 years, so the very final time he could take the chalice was Fursquared last year, or have to. And I said, "Alkali, this is the last time." Dumped it on his head, said we made it an even 15 grand, and he legitimately started crying.
I don't think Bert did you.
Yeah, Bert needs to sign it.
Yeah,
I'll
Bert.
take a picture.
So yeah, sorry, that was quick. Sorry.
So,
Sorry, my bad.
there's so many. It's hard to choose. The whole hat thing I said earlier about stealing it and showing it to him, that is one of them. But the one that comes to mind right now, because if you ask me another day, it'll change. But the other one was actually the impromptu panel that Alkali and Kage did, where I just went in, talked to him, helped raise an extra large amount of money for charity, pissed on a microphone.
You actually pissed on it?
A little bit got on it, maybe. Not on purpose. Oh shit, this is
How much money
recorded.
that raised?
Whatever. On the go, I do what I want. But yeah, it's just like having his reaction from that. Because he even said on the stage, he's like, Kage, here, hold this. And Kage's like, and just the whole shenanigans there. Because it really just felt like having fun with a couple of friends, making people laugh and doing it for a good cause. And that, I think, the one that comes to forefront right now is that. Favorite Alkali reaction memory?
Favorite Alkali reaction, opening ceremonies through GOH. I had coordinated this with their AV beforehand. So I walked into the room dressed as normal with a small bag with me. Sat in the back row right behind a big fursuiter. And while there, got into costume, a black cloak, top hat, big giant twirly mustache. I think there was a little goatee part to it as well. So I looked kind of like Snidely Whiplash, if you know who that is. And
Oh yeah.
I'm just back there. I'm waiting. No one is seeing me. They just saw me walk in as normal. And alcohol, they start opening ceremonies and this and that. And it's like, oh, we want to welcome our GOHs. And what's that? Was it Pepper, I think, was the GOH that you were doing? I don't know. They just went and they're like, Penez is supposed to be here. I thought I saw him walk into the room. And I had AV cue like that, like, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And then I jumped out from behind the first hitter. What's the matter, Alkali? Lost your guest of honor? And then I pranced out of the back of the room, to which he was just...
You always talk like that.
Should I always talk?
No.
Yeah, you'll wreck your voice.
But,
yeah.
and the thing was, and then after I pranced out of the room, I did another quick change, took off all of that, put on Sherlock Holmes hat and cloak and pipe, and came in the front door and went, don't worry, I'll find him. And he was just like... and that was the start of the convention.
So Sanjay,
I don't know what my favorite is because I've literally been friends with him for like 15 years.
I'm sorry.
well, one that
One of my most memorable moments of him though is the moment I met him. Yeah, I think
I know this story.
when we were at the Laugh New Year's Eve party, which he actually chairs now, in 2004 into 2005. And our friend Little Wolf had brought a box of condoms because his sister worked at Planned Parenthood or something, and they were all like the multicolored ones. And he's like, "Here, everybody!" And it was like a box like this big. So we were like, okay, and they like those condoms. I found them everywhere. Someone put one in my gas cap, like you know how you can open the.
yeah.
Somebody put it like in the gas door. So the next time I went to get gas, I opened it and a condom fell out.
By the way,
But-
quick tip: be careful about that because they will not dissolve in gasoline.
No, they weren't. It wasn't.
No, I know,
Yeah,
I know,
it wasn't. It was just because.
No, because
my
in case
old-
anyone get an idea.
Like
So-
my
sorry, go
old
ahead.
car, you could just open the gas door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we were bored and we blew one up, and we were hitting it around like
Oh,
beach
no.
ball, and we hit it towards Alkali, and Alkali went like this because it was like gently like coming down, and he was like like this, and then our friend Paul took a pen and went boom right there.
Oh no!
It's empty.
Yeah.
Took a pen and went boom like that, and it just popped, and Alkali like jumped, and then everyone just started laughing, and he goes, "It's not funny! That's how I got pregnant!" And storms out of the room. And that was my first time. That was the first time I met Alkali. So
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually have a question for Fur and Pandez. I have a small photo set from a few years ago that involved hats. I would like to know what your thoughts were during this panel. Can I bring it up to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, helping hands, I guess.
This panel.
He wanted to actually.
Oh,
Oh,
but I
the
had the
hats.
black and white top hat and the Sherlock Holmes hat and
During
that was the year I was GOH at whose line?
Yeah.
during personalities.
Oh, and the pimp hat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did we play the game last year too?
Probably.
I like that game. I do
So
too.
what was the question in regards to that panel? Just
What were
was
your thoughts going through that panel? That was
Oh.
one of my favorite panels that year, period.
Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like literally anytime you're up on stage, there's no specific thoughts that are going through your head. It's, okay, I have to be funny. Where's my opportunity? And something will happen, and just be like, I'm going to seize on this. And it could be a line, it could be a reaction from the crowd. Honestly, for me, there's no specific, like, I can't think back to any panel and go, oh, well, at that time I was thinking, like, that's not how my brain works. But just, it was probably, okay, are they having fun? Good. They're not having fun? How do I need to make this better? So, but that's, for me, that's about how I work when it's the improv panel.
Fun is mandatory.
Yeah.
In reality,
Okay,
probably
we're done.
that. But the way I'll tell it to you,
Oh.
I'm sitting on stage. I'm wearing a pimp hat, swapping with a Sherlock Holmes hat. There's people out in front of me laughing. They're laughing at me. I don't know. We're making fun jokes. And I'm just in the back of my head thinking, I'm from Florida. I have a master's degree. I work a very nice job. I have friends. But instead, I lied to them. I told them I was going to Wisconsin for fun. Because I found a cheap flight, and I decided why not. And now here I am on stage with close to 100 people staring at me as I take off my shirt and dance wearing a top hat, and then swapping out for a pimp hat, and then starting to do even more stupid shit. God, I fucking love my life.
You almost made me spit take. So it is 7 minutes into it. Do you want to do yours,
sweet.
Or?
Hi guys, welcome to the next panel.
Screw Zenfox, he's unimportant.
Okay, so the name of this panel is Go Forth and Suck. If you guys want to leave, move right ahead. I'm not gonna.
You're so mean.
Oh.
So
I get some more water.
Oh yeah, that actually.
Alright.
He never
Thank
comes
you
back.
guys.
I might need some.
Trust me, if it looks like lemonade, I know.
Is your panel a charity panel?
I guess it is now.
Your panel has now raised $20.
Sweet, take that other panel.
I still have more than you.
I know.
Oh, I never took off my pants.
I didn't.
I can take off my pants for like 2 seconds.
What? Wait.
Oh my! Careful, this guy.
There.
Oh my god!
Yes!
There we go.
That's my
back in at the perfect
Why?
That's my childhood. That's my childhood.
He saw me stand up. He's like,
That's my childhood. That's my
that's my
childhood.
childhood. Childhood's ruined.
What cartoon was on those underwear?
Huh?
What cartoon?
Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy.
That's awesome.
Everything from the Flash.
Hey, Peter. The donations to my panel should produce something entertaining.
Whoa!
This is technically during my panel.
That's actually his
It's the
graduation.
panel
Wild
Go Forth and Suck.
Graduated from ASU.
There you go.
Walk the stage with me.
I feel I should
But it
just
looks like
Oh man.
start. Bro, your panel is weird.
I know, it's
the people
crazy.
who made our graduation gowns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just watching you do this. Oh my god, that reminds me of the Alkali Walk of Shame.
Yes.
Oh
I thought that's
I'm
just
gonna be
our-
back. I'm gonna.
Weren't they supposed to turn the cameras off at that point? They did.
Nothing's showing, and
There's nothing showing. I don't give a crap.
yeah.
it's still PG-13. Look at her, she's got the hand
Hi,
on her
welcome
and
to the
everything.
panel.
Welcome to.
I have no pants on.
Okay, sweet.
Alright, so go forth and suck.
So welcome to my panel. This is called Go Forth and Suck. The actual idea for this panel stemmed out of MFF, and I submitted the idea for this panel at that convention. Who here has gone to MFF?
Never.
Does anyone here know a guy by the name of Fizz Otter?
Sounds.
Yeah, that sounds.
He makes a lot. He does the lasers for basically every big show. He's a really, just really great guy. He loves to talk about what he does, and he's just a font of knowledge. He started to do this panel called Overcoming Adversity and Facing Your Obstacles. And it was basically just like a guide on how to get stuff done, how to do stuff. And I was like, I want to do that because I fill that into like all the panels I do. I do electronics panels, photography panels. I do a lot of different things. I try to just kind of distill like this idea that you can fucking do it. And so literally while he was there, he's like, you should do this, except, make it more vulgar. So I was like, sweet, I'll add swear words to my title.
Like, oh, beans.
Yeah. For the record, this con allowed Go Forth and Suck, but they wouldn't allow the name of my electronics panel, which is adding useless electronic bullshit to your fursuit. But MFF allowed that one.
They have lower standards.
Hey, dude.
Take that, MFF.
Yeah. So basically, and I kind of asked Pandas about this when I realized I got it, and then I forgot this. What I just wanted is, like, the whole point of this 30-minute panel I had was I just wanted to, like, kind of get out there and say, like, and this is going to sound weird because I don't like to try to be, like, egotistical or anything, but, I've done a lot of shit in my life. I've been so lucky to be able to go to things like I've been DJing at Anthrocon for years now. The last 3 years, I've been a special guest at YomaCon. Last year, I was the musical guest of honor at MegaCon, an 80,000 person convention. I was guest of honor at Fursquared in 2015. I know, never either. So, and I get this question every once in a while, like, yo, yeah, how do you do this? How, like, you're so energetic, you're so outgoing, you do all this stuff, and the thing is, I suck. In my head, every single time I do this, even right now, I get this feeling like you are doing terrible, you are failing, you are doing so bad, and you, after the end of it, you know, I still think like, man, you focus on just what you did wrong. You think, man, that was terrible. That YouTube video I made had so many weird edits in it, or that performance panel I had, or I really missed that line during Who's Lion, or I didn't make a good joke. Expect it. Love the fact that you can fail.
Come here, my sweet
I told you to
child.
quit listening to what I said. I mean,
What? Yeah. I have, like, when I started going to conventions, and I said this here in the last panel, which is now this panel.
It's the coming and going and sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming and
going
going and
inside.
I didn't realize until I said it, the things that come out of my mouth.
Yeah, coming and
We
going.
need to change that. We need them to print up new schedule books and everything.
Yeah,
now.
Like right now, everyone, you need to replace me.
Call
Coming
us
and going
Twitter
and sucking.
right now.
Somebody make that hashtag,
Hold on.
coming and going and sucking.
Hold on.
Oh,
I'll tweet it.
Combine 2 panels. Coming and going, and Go Forth and Suck is now coming, going, and sucking.
Coming and going and sucking.
Oh,
man.
I am dying.
Yeah, it's
Whew.
man. See, and here's the thing. This is fucking all spontaneous. Like this
Spontaneous.
is spontaneous.
Big word.
Yeah, this is something that none of us, I'm gonna say, have probably like done this professionally. We never have gotten training on this kind of stuff.
No,
I
submitted a panel. The last panel I submitted it, and I forgot about it until like I looked at the schedule. Oh, I had that in
me
an hour.
too.
Yeah.
Nice. And like a lot of people think that performing specifically, but this is everything, like photography, doing electronics, I do my DJ shit, fursuit performance, fursuit making, light pictures, art, everything. Everyone thinks that they're worse at it than they are. And I just wanted to say, and this is the whole point of this panel, just go and do it. If you think you suck, that's normal. And accept that. Embrace it. Share what you do. Share what you've shown. Because this is the thing. You'll see the imperfections. Everyone else will see what you're trying to do. Everyone else sees everyone remembers the good of it. Like, if I go to Who's Line and I land 1 zinger and 3 duds, they'll remember the zinger. No one will care about the duds.
No, I can even say like the Who's Line I was on, because usually I get a lot of laughs and whatnot. And again, same thing with you. I'm not trying to be egotistical about it, but like this last one, I had a couple of chuckles, but there's a couple of jokes that had no reaction or they didn't get delivered well because it's hard to be 100% all the time. You know, and it's, you know what, okay, that happened, you move on. You learn from it. You pick up, and like the same thing you're saying, it's just, and if you spend so much time trying to make everything perfect and you wait to produce something perfect, if you don't put stuff out there, you'll go back and you say, this is terrible. You will not progress. Progressing is based, you have to lay the first stone, the second stone, the third stone. It's not, it's very rare for somebody to go, I'm perfect at this right from the get-go.
No, I am.
Well, Pandas.
I don't know, Pandas.
I mean, he had googly boobs.
He did it.
Oh, I was a googly glops.
Yeah,
googly glops.
I'm still waiting for someone to send me a picture of that. Please, someone else.
I mean, just yesterday at Celebrity Who's Lion, like the first 3 games.
So
I was just
we're back to coming and going now.
Yeah. No, we're talking about. I'm talking about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought, I'm just having a bad day. Like this, I'm doing a shit job up here, and I'm like, this is just crap. And then Crimson and me go up, and we do a scene, and it's awesome, and it gets a great reaction, and that's all I cared about was just the I've gotten to this point where even if I suck, I've had so many other good moments that I kind of have to. It's tough for me, but you kind of have to like weigh the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And just don't let the bad just overtake everything. Because you're gonna like I said, like even in one show, I had good moments and I had bad moments, and you can't dwell on the bad moments, even though I do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Or even turn around and use that as a drive. It's like, okay, this didn't go that
Yeah.
well. How can I make this better?
Yeah, I got to go up there again and just go for it.
Mhm.
So.
Go forth and then suck.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Man,
what it
this
should.
panel name is making so much more sense now that I've actually thought about it. Like, that's the thing. Like, here, this panel for an example. Like, I was like, you know what? I want to do some kind of, like, pep talk panel, but I don't think I'd be good at it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. And look how well it's working. You're all still here, because I changed you to the table.
Next time I'll fuzz it, I'll do it.
Fuzz it all too. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's, and you ask anyone who's been a performer long enough or who's done art long enough, and you'll ask, like, oh, like, when did you realize you were good? And they'll be like, I'm not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want the real answer or the stage answer?
There's actually a taboo that any artist of any medium, if you go back and you show them their old stuff, or at the time they're like, this is good, this is great, I'm so happy. So happy. And then show it to them like a year, 5, 10 years down the road, and they're like, I died inside.
I'll give you
Artistovision, they call it.
I have a friend who.
Heard that term from Miss Matt.
I had a friend who, you guys, I guarantee you've seen their art, but I will not call them out. Ranked like one of the top 10 artists on for Affinity through that FA rank, just from like likes and follows and stuff like that. And he thinks his art sucks. And I mean, his art is unbelievable. It's everywhere. It sells in art auctions for hundreds of dollars, and everything he does, he just thinks it sucks. So, everyone's their own worst critic.
I have a feeling that every con chair at the end of the convention, just like as soon as right before closing ceremonies hits, they think they're about to go out to closing ceremonies and get tomatoes thrown at them. I don't work high enough. I don't work high on staff anywhere. But just you get so focused, especially during the thing. Like you just get focused on those hang-ups, and it's okay. You're going to want to focus on that. That's how you improve. But realize that you're probably not doing as bad as you think you are.
That's perfectly the question that I have for you all.
Ask a question.
Cool. Can you each think of an example of something that at the time was personally devastating because it was just absolutely horrible and you couldn't believe you did that, it went so bad, but ultimately you learned so much from it and you're thankful that you made that mistake because as bad as it was, it led to something.
More stuff.
Yeah.
Like wearing a wig on stage in Wisconsin. 3,000 miles from home.
I have one.
Yeah.
So, a couple of years back, when I was first starting, I thought I would put in for a 1-hour panel of my stand-up at MFF.
Oh my god, I
The
love
second
that.
largest
I
furry
was
convention.
there.
And they put me in like secondary events. I'm like, oh my god,
It was,
it's
it was the same room.
fantastic.
Whose line was it?
And like, man, it was a pretty big room, and I was on Twitter. I'm like, come on, guys, and there was like 12 people.
Taryn
And
they were
like,
in the
if
room.
you're in a small room and there's 12 people, that's fine. Yeah, this is great. But when you're in like
a
a
huge
ballroom,
room, yeah.
and the first 2 rows are filled up, and then chairs, it messes with your mind. I made it through. I did all of my material. Alkali kept passing through every once in a while because he was busy doing stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, exactly.
And like, I thought that it went terribly. I thought that I bombed. I thought, okay, I'm never doing this again. And like, everyone who was there came up to me, like the 12 people that were there were like, "This was great. I can't wait to see you again." And it did teach me, okay, don't let that get to you. You know, you need to get past that. And smaller sets. Hence the three-headed monster came for it. So now it's just 15, 15, 15 instead of, I'm going to try for now.
So, Netflix special.
Yeah, and that whole Netflix special.
But yeah, like you have that experience and it messes with your head, and then people come up to you and go, well, no, there were these positives, and you're like, I will take that information and I will adjust from there. So
yeah.
And then on the flip side of that, like MFF learned a great deal from me too, because now we are crazy neurotic about trying to match room size to particular panels and make sure that we'd rather they're in a slightly smaller room than they need to be in a much bigger room, because it is genuinely devastating to
have that open space.
Yes.
it was weird too because like at that time it was about 3/4 full when I walked in because Family Feud was your Furry Feud was just emptying out, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty good crowd. Hopefully someone will stick around. So, but yeah, no, that and that as a from a convention standpoint, actually, that's very good as well. But anyone else? And then we'll get to you.
There was
But-
a question about that.
Oh.
What panels were you going up against at the time? That might explain that.
Oh, this little thing called the dance comp.
That would explain it.
Was the dance comp? What? No,
I don't know.
I was on Saturday night, and the dance comp is Sunday at Fursquared, so it could have been up against the dance because it was probably a late night panel.
Because I experienced something similar to that this morning. Because everybody was still asleep from the dance last night.
That does definitely, I'm like I figured, no, okay, comedy Saturday night, but no, everyone could have been at the dance, everyone could have been in room parties doing, non-mentionable things, but
Yeah, plans break down at cons so often.
Anyway, so back to his question with you guys, but
yeah.
I'm having a hard time picking the one.
Oh yeah, you're perfect.
I think.
forget.
No.
You're wearing cartoon underwear. You
I
have
am
no.
wearing cartoon underwear, but they. I used to do stand up before Who's Lion. We don't have time anymore because we just whatever. So I've done stand up before, but I don't do it anymore. And I did a set at IFC one year that just bombed. And I really beat myself up about it. Like no one was laughing, and I kind of like even though I bombed, because I tried to write material current events type material, and it was funny to me, but it didn't really get the laughs at a furry convention. So maybe it was just inappropriate for a furry con, and what I kind of took from that is that even though I bombed, we ended up having a really good Who's Lion. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably just going to stick with that. And when I have done stand-up, I stick to personal stories. So personal stories from my childhood. Things that I know that I'm not accidentally stealing from another comedian, or it's not a joke that everybody's heard already, or it's not politically motivated or religiously motivated. It's neutral. It's just this story that happened from my childhood. And I also learned that I like improv more than writing something, because when you have to put me on a script, it's a disaster. Literally, when I have a podcast and doing my outros, it's not live, so. When we do the intro and the outro at the end, and then just splice them in at the beginning. When I have to do the intros, it's like a script, and I have to do it 10 times because it's just me following a script just isn't good. And stand up, kind of the same thing. If I'm up here and I'm telling you guys a story, about my brother when we were growing up, or something that happened to me, I'm just much better at that. So I even though I bombed. It was definitely a learning experience. So I guess that would probably be the most embarrassing. That was probably the one I beat myself up the most about.
I actually had a really big one, not con related actually. I actually told you about this a little bit last night. I had an idea where with my suit I wanted to do a short video of cosplayers, just just a quick explanation. I was I just want to do a quick battle scene, include other cosplayers, because it'd be really cool. And I knew somebody did video and a little bit of special effects and stuff like that. I was like, this would be awesome to do, have people included, And it was treacherous the whole way. one site that I got people together, and somebody's like, "Oh, well, if you have this person, I don't want to be part of it." I'm like, "Ah, jeez." The first location I asked to use was an airsoft field. It was like, "Oh yeah, you can use it." And then like a week before I was supposed to do filming, I was like, "Oh, by the way, how much you paying me? And you have to share the field with everyone else." I'm just like, "What?" Filming. So I dropped him like a bad habit. Found another place that was willing to let us do it. It was another airsoft field. So it's like starting to look good again because it was another airsoft field that wasn't open yet. They were giving us free roam of the whole land. Managed to get everybody out there. Did filming all day, like from about 8 a.m. to about 5 or 6 p.m. Just filming, getting stuff done. And we had to get it done that day because the timing of everybody available and stuff like that. The field wouldn't have been available just for us, and some people wouldn't be available, and the changing of the season would make everything look different. But we did it. So all this time spent filming, all this time finding a location a couple hours out of where I lived from, get everything organized. Everything looked golden. So we get there, my friend's helping me film, we're doing it, he's doing his thing, we're doing, because the way the filming goes, you don't just go run the whole skit and film it as go. No, you get several shots, you break it down, and so that way when you do post-editing, you can put it all together to make it into a scene. One of the kids there decided that, hey, I do filming and photography, I can help too. Cool. And he ended up filming a couple of key scenes. So, like, backtracking a little bit, part of the disappointment was there's two people that had, like, some Halo Spartan armor cosplays, like, really good ones. Then they dropped out for BS reasons, so, but, moved forward. Because I wasn't trying to make it about me, I wanted it to be inclusive. But we still worked it out. Did all the filming, talked to the guy, okay, hey, we'll stay in touch, get the files for you. Long story short, come time to contact him, he's not contacted. I have to contact him through his mother. And it came down to the point that eventually he made the excuse when I was like, you know what, I can just drive out there instead of just uploading it to the cloud and doing that. I can just drive out there. I went and bought equipment to transfer files on whatever medium he had. The response I get back is, oh, I lost it to the gigabyte virus. And what? So the thing was, it never got made because he had a lot of critical shots. Because I even went through, made a script, plot, everything. And because I didn't have those critical shots, my one friend lost his interest and couldn't put it together because, so it just all fell apart. Like one string was pulled, cloth fell apart. And it's like, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I learned from it. Okay, it's like, now I know that if I do that, if I rely on somebody else, get the information right away, or be selective of who I use. I learned a little bit more about communication and stuff like that. And I do want to try again. I'm not going to go, oh, it failed, I'm just going to give up. I still want to do something like that. So I just learned more. I have better experience, and I'm going to move forward with it.
That's like a big thing to take away is that, like, even if things fail, you do learn from that stuff.
You always learn something, even if you don't realize it.
Yeah, and that's the best thing. A great man, Zenyatta from Overwatch, says, failure is a powerful teacher.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot because that's what he says after you die. A whole lot.
Damn your Hanzo and your tree arrows.
Oh my god, seriously.
Zenyatta's like the example of, we will teach them our peaceful ways by force!
Okay, so I've got a really quick example because we're almost out of time, aren't we?
We are out of time.
Well,
God damn, okay.
Technically yes, but I was looking at the schedule and there's not anything in here for another half hour.
Yay! So we're gonna go like 5 more minutes because I've got stuff to do.
Okay,
We
sure.
got stuff to do.
But, yeah, I
we'll
do.
Real quick, and then we'll head over there. This is gonna be a DJ story.
Tell me, Mr. DJ.
So I learned. I've been a DJ for quite a while. For like 3 years, I made my income as a DJ. That was a rough life. Made more money, but I was everywhere in the country. And I wanted to play house. I loved electronic music. I loved all that shit. I loved 4 on the floor beats, this, all stuff. I was always like dedicated to try to find the most obscure stuff, find the stuff that I love, and only play that stuff. Play what I want to hear out on the dance floor, and they'll love the energy that I put into my musical selection. And I started getting like booked for little conventions and stuff. This is like 2010, 2011, so I was like playing, I was like, oh, I'm playing opening of FA United, woo! Or, yeah, thanks MFM and Bob and Joe, thanks for coming. And then like it was one convention, I want to say it was FAU. I was playing my usual like house stuff that I enjoy it. And then someone said, hey, play it was like Britney Spears or something. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll play Britney Spears. Fuck you. You want to listen to Britney Spears, you little dweeb? Fine, I'll play your pop music. And I put on Britney Spears. And then all of a sudden, the 50 fursuiters and people outside decided, music I'd heard before. I'm coming in. And then they started dancing and loving it. And I'm like, oh shit. I can't play house music again because they'll just go away. So I played another pop track and Lady Gaga. I'm like, hey, this is fun when people are dancing and they're enjoying it. It's not necessarily the music that, I wanted to play because it's not the music that I want to share, but this is what people enjoy. And then all of a sudden I realized, wow, being a pop DJ is actually kind of fun because I'm playing music people like. And that was the biggest the lesson learned. Yes, I thought that this was what, I thought this was going to be the way I was going to go. And then all of a sudden this happened, and, now I'm playing AC every year. I'm playing Anime Central this year, which is a bigger convention than...
100,000 people.
What?
We're talking ASIN, right?
Yeah.
That's like 100,000 people.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I play Youmacon every year, which is an anime con, and I play my, pop music, and it's the most well-attended dance every year. So that was just one of those things. It's you think you're going to do something, and then all of a sudden you realize, wow, I actually suck at this. And then you realize from that, you kind of grow, and you grow a little bit more, and you really can just use that. So I'm going to say the final word, because goddammit, this is my panel.
Go for it.
I'm the go. I do what I want.
You already ruined one of my panels today. You did. So the whole reason why I did this, the whole reason why I only wanted 30 minutes was because I literally just have one thing to say. Just, if you want to go do something, and you want to be at a convention and do it, or you want to go do it at home, just feel free to suck. You are allowed to fail. You are allowed to do things that you don't think are good. YouTube has unlimited storage space. Fill it up with your shitty videos. SoundCloud, fucking fill it up with your mixes. Mixcloud lets you run as long as you want. You want to stream on fucking Picardo all day, every day? They love it. You do not have to worry about making good content. Worry about that later. Make what you want to do. Talk to the people you want to do. Do what you want to do. Feel free to suck at it. There's nothing wrong with that. Go forth and suck. Thank you, guys.
Alright, you gotta go. I like the line, talk to the people you want to do.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Alright.
Is it at what, 3 or 2:30?
I don't know, but we should probably be there. Yeah, if it's even as that 3, we should be there now. Because...
By the way,
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all.
I totally have something about Mary hair after taking off.
Yeah.
You can keep it on,
Okay.
if you want.
Alright, good.
It's your Furbio.
Yeah.
Furbio.
Like
Do you like beer?
I do.
I
Why would I
do.
not like beer?
Like to try it?
I'll give it a shot.
You're not allowed to answer any other way in Wisconsin.